リンクスタート
Should a game like Sword Art Online ever be developed, it would, according to the film theorists, cost around 400 million euros. That's the GDP of Ireland, or enough money to buy 1 billion apples. Not those apples, these apples. It makes it almost impossible to reasonably envision developing SAO without current technology, if it wasn't obvious from the "I can control your mind and feelings" machinery necessary to make a complete immersion into a virtual world possible. But technology is not our topic of today, and assuming technology was mature and that we wanted it, is there even a way to make such a game profitable? I won't answer that question today, but I will try to make a reasonably smart analysis, as if you could make anything that smart, of the different means to monetize a game, and hopefully find out which one is the best. Starting right from the conception of the game, the monetization system has to be imagined, designed, and then implemented. It may seem like some sort of greedy game studios only want money, and though that may be true for some of them, they have no choice if they want to keep existing in our current economy. Since we have to, we might as well accept this fact for now. So let's enumerate the different ways one can monetize their game and represent each of them with a representative game. The first category that we come across is free-to-play, the closest to really being free. A game is monetized either with ads, with purchases that do not impact your level or ability to improve as a player, unless you're some sort of visual maniac whose performance changes according to their skin, and overall, even if it can impact the performance that you'll have, this impact has to be limited. This category is subdivided into different ones. The first subgenre is 1.1 aesthetic free-to-play, where money buys you unimportant purchases, mainly to look better or to visually brag during a game, as in Fortnite Battle Royale. 1.2 is when the cash flows through ads in-game, and those kind of games often also contain a premium subscription program. This model is used in many small games and catch-up games. This model is, in my view, going to disappear one day. 1.3 is freemium. It's another subgenre of free-to-play, and I would argue that Hearthstone is a good example of a freemium game. Here, money buys you helping purchases, but can be overcome reasonably through skill and effort. And finally, we have 1.4 pay to accelerate, where money only buys you time accelerating purchases. 1.3 and 1.4 are fairly similar, but I would say that 1.4 is more about patience, but is not frustrating once you've accepted, because it shows exactly how much time you save by paying. 1.3 can really be unfair in comparison, since when you don't pay, you can feel like it will take forever to reach the level of someone who pays. Moving on, we have Type 2, free to start. That's the kind of game that you download and begin playing for free, but at some point you need to pay to unlock most of the game. It's kind of like the demo of a game, really. A good example of this is Super Mario Run, where for the sum of 10 euros you unlock the entire game, though you can rush through the first world for free. Next up, we have number 3, that's pay to play. The old school classic way of monetizing games that divides into 3 distinct subtypes. The pay once type, like Minecraft or Evoland, where you pay at the start and are never asked to pay again, or else it's really a minor impact on the gaming experience. Then we've got the subscription model like World of Warcraft, where you have to pay on a regular basis to keep playing, and once you stop, well, you stop having access to the game. And finally, we have 3.3, the last subgenre of pay-to-play, that I would call paymium, the opposite of freemium, games where you regularly have to pay to unlock chapters, like Telltale games. If I believe my source, I've never played them, but anyway, you see the point. Sometimes the limit between paymium and a classic game with DLC may be hard to distinguish, but I will still make it a distinguishable category. And finally, we've got the one category that we've all been waiting for and loving for years: pay to win. FIFA 18 or Candy Crush make it sadly famous, either giving tremendous advantages to those paying or using psychological tricks to get you to fall addicted to the game and pay very much. There's not much I can say to praise that type of games, only that it's mostly sickening. In my view, it's not a fantastic way to monetize, as you will see in the upcoming part. I immediately eliminate the models that can be brutally unfair, addictive, or toxic. Candy Crush automatically adjusting difficulty to make you pay is an absolute shame in my opinion. Freemium and pay to accelerate are a bit better, but still use the frustration of a player to get them to pay, or hinder the gameplay experience to that end. I eliminate those too frustrating or deceptive, and I consider that having to pay multiple times is not ideal, since it makes it complicated to correctly evaluate how much you invest into a game, and so it can become a real burden. Though I admit it can be justifiable in the case of long-lasting games like World of Warcraft, or massive games with a lot of sane DLCs. Which give us two finalists, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome my winners for tonight. First, we've got the best soft monetization that's ideal for online multiplayer games. I would call soft a monetization type that does not require to have everyone paying for it, or with a limited amount at the start, so with costs that spread out across the game's lifetime. They're usually games that have lighter initial development, although Genshin Impact is a perfect counterexample, in which case to me the best is aesthetic free-to-play. Making the game free, monetizing it with purchases that only bring new skins or visual items. I could accept the argument that adding a little bit of value to purchases, for instance unlocking a special adventure or I don't know, is sometimes positive, if it does not push players to pay to enjoy the game, especially in multiplayer games. However, even for aesthetic purchases, it raises issues of people buying them to brag, or kids stealing their parents' credit card to look cooler on the field. For that reason, I think the second model is more sane overall. And so the winner for the best hard monetization type that's ideal for solo games is the pay once, pay to play type of monetization. Some people may disagree on that one, and I'm not exactly sure how precisely it should be done, and whether or not paying only once is ideal. For instance, splitting a €60 game into a €30 starting part and a €30 DLC may be relevant, allowing players to purchase for cheaper and only pay the high cost if they like the experience. Anyway, the idea is the fact of paying only once to then enjoy a gaming experience without interruption allows great things. You're free of worries and can wander across a game free from paying packs, from incentives that, in addition to being obnoxious, take the player out of the universe they're trying to immerse themselves in. It also allows a clear visualization of the amount put into playing, achieving more transparency and thus avoiding that some folks spend hundreds of euros without knowing it, because it's spread out over years. Even for mobile gaming, I would rather solo adventures were well thought and designed and cost money to download, which happens in some cases but is usually not very well accepted, rather than have invasive ads or offers that try to scam me. But wait, well, I hear there's a model that allows to finance software in a sane, free, and available for everyone manner? So I present to you the actual real winner, but that's actually not feasible at a large scale in the current state of the economy: Wikipedia! That's right, everybody, the best way to finance a piece of software or a service is to count on donations, but it's only best in terms of the user's perspective. Indeed, it is free, non-aggressive, does not rely on ads or your personal data to finance itself, and is a true gem by essence. If it were possible, that would be, from the player's perspective, a fantastic way to get games monetized. Those who love it, have the means to pay, or simply want to contribute can pay. However, seeing how Wikipedia regularly has problems financing itself, and given that most game developers and companies need to make profit, as much profit as possible, thank you capitalism, it's unlikely that it would be doable right now, apart maybe from a few specific games that are not too expensive to make or kept online, or games with a strong and involved community of players. So that would be great, but I think not really attractive for developers, because when you have the choice between earning a bit of money and earning a lot of money, why would you choose to earn only a bit and having to make donations campaign once at least every year? Still, who knows, we may see that one day. In the meantime, I'll go for the pay once, never get bothered again type of financement. And I'm not judging people who prefer free games with ads. I was in that team for a long time as well. It's just that now, I think it's preferable to lose a few bucks and preserve sane gaming environments, when of course it's not overly expensive. Unfortunately, it is very common in our culture to expect for a piece of software or online service to be free, but free things sadly don't exist. When they do, either nice people are making donations, Wikipedia my love, or people's psychological weaknesses are being monetized through ads or addictive payment. So next time a game comes out and costs 10 euros, remember that it ain't much in the face of humanity's mental health. On that note, that's been it for me in this video. I hope I will see you again soon, and please don't forget to eat those veggies. Bye bye.